Welcome to Unprofessional Movie Discussion, and today we'll be discussing John Wick 2. John Wick 2. Let's start from the beginning. He's finishing off his revenge thing from the first movie.
Yes, he's going to find his Mustang, which is still held by Russians.
Yeah. So anyway, he fights everyone off, and then he makes peace with the head Russian guy. And then he gets back home, he just buried all his weapons and coins, and then there's a knock at the door.
Yes, he has a knock at the door. Someone's asking him to come in to do one more very specific job. Then he's apparently going to be left alone.
Yeah, and he says no. So in return, the guy's like, just gonna blow up your house then.
Yes, tries to blow up his house while he's inside.
Yeah. Well, the whole deal was the guy came in and he says to John that he owes him a blood oath kind of thing.
Yes, they owes him one last job, and in response to his house blowing up, he decides to go talk to the head that he normally answers to, see if he should take the job or to make his final decision on whether he should take the job or not.
Basically. So John wants to get out of this, and the head guy says pretty much, well, if you do this job, are you really out of the game? And no.
Yeah, basically. If he does it, he's back in, and he can't get out again.
So the job that the guy wants John to do is to assassinate his sister, so he can be on the High Council.
The High Council of the Assassins.
So then he goes to Rome, and he gets the layout of where she is, his weapons, and his tactical suit. And it's really cool because it's bulletproof.
Yes, it's got kind of similar to what they did with the Dark Knight armor, but instead of being actual armor bits, it's actually armors inside the suit laid out so he can move. It was very cool.
And it's the only thing that's pretty much keeping him alive.
Yes, and like a normal bulletproof suit, every time a bullet hits, it's gonna hurt a lot.
So he sets out his escape route, and he goes in to do his job.
Yeah, he goes in to do his job. She's been expecting someone, but not him. So they have a long discussion, and then she ends up lying in this hot spa, and then she goes to cut her own wrists and just lays there bleeding out. And then he decides to speed up by stopping the blood getting through into her wrists, so she bleeds out from the cuts. And after she's dead, she give her one good shot in the head. For good measure. And then he goes and takes his time to get out, and then when people realise what's happened, they start going after him. And also, the person who hired him to kill his sister had a plan to cut him off, like have no loose ends, so no one can stop him. And then it's basically a killing spree of him trying to get out from then onwards on his escape route, where he's laid out spare weapons from assault rifles to shotguns, basically ready to get out of there as quickly as he can, and as best he can.
So yeah, he leaves and he runs into Common, and he's like, "You working?" "Yeah." "Well, good night." "I'm afraid so." You know, it's like like code talk kind of thing, and that's when he realizes, and that's when the whole shootout starts up. And I like to mention Ruby Rose in this. She was pretty good. She had no lines. All she used was sign language, and I think this is one of her best roles.
Yeah, it's definitely one of her better roles. I actually enjoyed her role in this movie, as not that I say I didn't like her roles in Triple X or Resident Evil, but this one I had was more enjoyable. Give her a thumbs up for the role.
It's just the way she expresses herself, angry, sad, or scared. She did all that. It was really, really good. You know, she used her eyes. You can read her eyes and know what she's kind of thinking, which was awesome.
Yes, it was awesome.
So he then eventually makes it back to New York, where what is the bad guy's name?
I don't remember his name.
So anyway, he now has revenge on his mind, so he goes back to New York and he wants to find the guy who pretty much set him up. But what the guy has done, just to, you know, get rid of John, he put a $7 million bounty on him, and that was sent out to all the assassins. So there's like thousands of them in New York, all hunting him down.
Yes, they have to fight them off one by one, improvising the whole time to make sure that they're dead and to try and get to where he's trying to get to in the first place, which is to get after one guy, and because he's dead set wants to kill him for trying to kill him.
Yeah. So I think we'll leave from there. I don't want to give away too much stuff because after he gets back to New York, there is more deeper plot that comes along, so we're not going to spoil that. So we're going to go on to the ratings. I will give John Wick 5.
Yes, I also give John Wick Chapter 2 5.
Check it out. It's amazing. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, pull it over! Hey, pull it!